This has been a big week for the Dodgers as far as injury updates go. Aside from the Max Muncy news that he's going to be on the injured list with the minor oblique, there were three other updates that we got just in the last couple of days, Blake, on Clayton Kershaw, Bobby Miller, and Evan Phillips. Let's talk about Kershaw first. Some positive news for a guy that they're still not expecting for a couple of months, but what did we see from Kershaw this past weekend that maybe should have some Dodgers fans encouraged?
Yeah, so he started throwing off the mound at Dodger Stadium, which he was throwing in the bullpens, but he actually went onto the field and the mound there, and he started mixing in curveballs, which was encouraging. So seems like he's starting to make some significant progress there, and hopefully it keeps going well.
As far as we know, Blake, no change in timeline for Clayton Kershaw. That kind of mid-July to early August range still seems like the hopeful, but also so far somewhat realistic.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping for. They haven't changed that timeline yet, so we'll see once he actually starts getting into more rehab games and pitching to live hitters and ramping everything up how it goes. But so far, it's been encouraging.
Yeah, I was just looking. I may try and go see Oklahoma City at some point. They're going to be in Reno. I've got family in Reno at the end of June. And right as I was prepping for this, I was like, oh, and last week of June, Clayton Kershaw aiming for a mid-July. Yeah, who knows? That could be a nice little spot to see Kershaw, especially Reno, not, close to the West Coast. So who knows? I'm crossing my fingers that maybe I get lucky there. Bobby Miller, the other update here. He's been out since April 14th with shoulder inflammation. He was part of this back-to-back bullpen session with Clayton Kershaw. Dave Roberts says he's scheduled for a 3-inning sim game this week and then a minor league stint the week after that. Earlier, they were saying that because he hasn't been out for very long, that rehab assignment could be rather short. Like, are we talking 2 weeks away from Bobby Miller, 3 weeks away? What do you think?
If I had to guess, I'd say 3 weeks just to be safe because things always go a bit haywire with injuries and pitchers especially building their arm up, and I think they're going to be really cautious with them. It seems like it was longer than you'd necessarily want a pitcher out to have and then to go have a short rehab assignment. Like, I'm not fully buying that. I think they'll just be cautious with him and not rush him back. There's no point to making sure he's back for their May 30th game or whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you. Whatever Dave Roberts gives me an injury update, I just don't believe it. So when he said it's going to be a short rehab assignment, of course, that was a couple weeks ago. So maybe they thought things were going to progress a little bit more quickly. But I mean, I've got to imagine it's at least 2 rehab starts, right? Like if they do a 3-inning sim game and then 2 rehab starts, that feels like a minimum, right?
I would think so, but maybe they try and sneak in 1 rehab and then just go light with him when he comes back to the rotation. It might depend on how the rotation actually ends up lining up. If it's a bullpen game that's also lined up for Bobby Miller to start a rehab assignment that day, or like go on another rehab game after already making one, then maybe they're like, hey, maybe you come back, throw 4 innings at the major league level, and we'll go from there. So I wouldn't totally rule it out that he's back a little sooner, but I still think they're going to be a little more cautious with him.
Yeah, I mean, heck, even if Landon Knack continues to pitch like this, then maybe the Dodgers are like, hey, we don't even need to come close to rushing this because we have a guy in Knack who's currently the 6th starter who is giving them length and quality as well.
He's getting optioned tomorrow, though.
Yeah, probably. You're probably true. Last update here, Evan Phillips. More good news. What's this, Blake? We got 3 positive updates on Dodgers injuries here. Placed on the injured list on May 5th. Reports are that he threw a full effort bullpen on Saturday, said he felt pain-free, quote, and felt, quote, great. Dave sort of dampened expectations a little, said, hey, he's still at least a week away. But, I mean, we're talking in the next 2 or 3 weeks, the Dodgers could get one of their 3 best pitchers and their best relief pitcher back, all progressing positively, which, I don't know. How hard not to be encouraged when you see some of the names in the Dodgers bullpen at the moment.
I mean, yeah, but the bullpen has also been really good so far. So just adding another great piece, make it even better. And it's encouraging to see them all getting healthy and throw in Ryan Brazier's name there too. He's close to actually getting back on the field and throwing again and then moving into the bullpen again. So hopefully that goes as planned also. And yeah, it's great to see they're actually getting healthy instead of dealing with 5 injuries at the same time again and losing everyone from their group.
That's a hot take from Blake. Evan Phillips was actually the problem in the Dodgers bullpen. When Evan Phillips leaves, they get better. And when he comes back, maybe we should be nervous. Did I hear that right?
I mean, trying in for closer, is that That's what we've seen so far. It's been locked down so far. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, look, and if every weekend could be Armed Forces Day for Blake Trinan, I mean, we'd be freaking, that guy'd have a 0.0 ERA. He was just fired up for the troops today. So shout out to Blake Trinan and the Dodgers bullpen. But again, 3 positive injury updates from the Dodgers: Clayton Kershaw, Bobby Miller, Evan Phillips, all positive. And again, the last we heard on Max Muncy is that it's minor. They're expecting him to be, the minimum, I believe, was Dave Roberts' language, 10 days. So start your clocks and tell me if Dave Roberts is actually telling the truth. But positive injury updates there for the Dodgers.